Hello and welcome to Brassic Classics video 2. Today we'll be featuring this Volkswagen T25. I used this van the other day and it's normally pretty reliable, but it wasn't the other day. I had a bit of an issue, broke down about 11 o'clock at night, managed to coast it into a car park and under a light, which was useful. Basically I went to start it, was really lumpy. You know, air in the fuel. I thought, maybe it's run out of fuel, even though the fuel gauge said it had plenty in it. So I had a look, bled the system, no good. Anyway, let's have a look and see what I found. Okay, so upon closer inspection, what I found was, on this van I put a fuel primer, a manual fuel primer pump. Sorry about the wind and a lack of gimbal. See, I had a fuel primer pump which was here, and that had developed a large crack and was just fuels going everywhere. So my only option at that point was to remove it, which I did, and then what I ended up doing was taking the union which was on the fuel primer pump, putting it in here, and then bracing it with the Jubilee clip in the middle. Which amazingly worked. I was surprised. And I got home, which is always good. Anyway, so now, having bought lots more of this, I'm going to redo this line because I don't really, although this got me home, I don't particularly trust it for much longer. Anyway, so that was the event, and this is just a lovely view. Hello, right. I'm sat in the Volkswagen T25. Just want to do a little overview of it. So I've had this van about 2 years. Things that aren't standard. These seats, as mentioned in video 1. I think I said they were out of a A6. I think they're probably an A4. Anyway, moving on. This van doesn't have the original engine, which you probably noticed in this video earlier. It's got a 1.9 non-turbo diesel. Oh yeah, it's got power. Probably out of a Golf, I think. I don't know how long it's been in here. I don't really know the mileage. It says 182. I've probably done 6,000 or 7,000 of that. But I mean, this dashboard moves quite a lot and doesn't even appear to be screwed down, so who knows if that's original. Well, you don't worry about that with classic cars, it's fine. So yeah, basically, yeah, so this van, it's a 1988, as I've said, it's a panel van. It's not really been converted into a camper. It's got a slightly extended platform for a mattress in the back, which I'll show you when it's not completely full of musical equipment. Yeah, so this van, I've travelled all over Europe in it. I've been to Stuttgart in Germany. I've been across Germany quite a lot because my girlfriend's German. So I've travelled quite a lot across Germany. Like I say, I went to Stuttgart, which is a 10-hour trip. No problem. Absolutely no problem at all. It has let me down now and again. I mean, it's 30 years old. It's 1988. It's the same age as me. The worst one. So me and my girlfriend decided we were going to go and drive to Austria to meet her family. They flew. We drove. We took the dog, and we took all the sort of luggage. And we got kind of like halfway there, and we were going up a hill. This is in like mid-August. It's about 35 degrees. And we were halfway up a very big hill in traffic, and suddenly I start hearing weird noises, and I'm sort of looking across at other cars thinking, well, you know, that sounds awful, Jesus. And then on Volkswagens of this era, you have it's basically the same dash as a Golf, and you have one warning light, which I call the red warning light of death, and it starts flashing. So I pull off into like a European lay-by, which are massive in Europe. They're huge. They have like toilets and proper facilities, and they're very cool. And yeah, my water pump's decided it doesn't want to pump water around the engine anymore. It just wants to throw it on the floor. Well, a lot of it was steam by this point, and I'm just I pulled in. I'm thinking, well, that must have warped the head. God knows, you know, it's dead. And Sophia's looking at me, you know, with that sort of, you know, believing I can fix this, and I'm looking at her thinking, Not a chance. If I had ramps, if I had a water pump, if I had some ramps. I mean, I've got tools, but I didn't have like a breaker bar. I didn't have anything. I mean, realistically, no way. So luckily she's a member of ADAC, which is like German AA, because I don't have breakdown cover. I don't have money for those sort of things. I buy classic cars. I've got way too many things to spend my money on. So the ADAC come out, and we get on the truck, and you know, it is what it is. So anyway, we get driven to a garage. This is on a Sunday. Luckily they're open. We get a hire car. We continue our journey. We get to Austria. Lovely holiday. Really nice. Great. We then come back to pick the car up. It's fixed. Brilliant. The van's fixed. Like 550 euros later for a water pump. I mean, look on eBay. They're like 80 quid. But you know, okay, fine, whatever. Move on. So we pick the van up. Start driving back to Germany. It's probably like a 3-hour journey, 3.5 hours by this point. Get onto the Autobahn. Everyone's happy. Well, I say everyone, the dog's not with us because the dog's gone with her aunt, just in case. And yeah, suddenly red warning light of death. Bad times. Pull over. It's throwing water out again. It's overheating horribly. By this point, I've had enough. You know, this has not been a good trip. Sophia looks like she's about ready to kill me and everybody else, understandably. So I managed to limp the van off, down an off ramp, and then spend like 2 hours cobbling the cooling system together to get us home. I'll insert a picture of me doing that now. Yeah, so we get home. I limp it back through the back roads, not going over 30 mile an hour to put no pressure on the engine at all. And by this point, it's like 6 o'clock in the evening. It started to cool down, which was lucky. So we get back to Germany, get back to Cologne, all good. I spend the next 3 days underneath the van trying to sort out what is wrong with it. You know, I've got, you know, I'm imagining I've walked ahead again, and anyway, I eventually stumble across, maybe it's the thermostat. You know, could be. Now, bear in mind, to change a water pump, you have to take the thermostat out anyway. Or you at least have to uncouple all the pipes which, you know, house this thermostat. So the company that had done it had obviously just put this thermostat back in, which looked pretty knackered. I mean, it didn't look good. And this is like a €20 part. So by this point, you know, I'm underneath this car for 2 days and I find this and I just can't believe it. So anyway, I go down, I get a new thermostat, I get a spare thermostat, because when you've got classic cars, if you buy something, you buy two, just how it is. Fix it, put it in, test it, all seems good. And my first proper test is to drive from Cologne to Calais, which it did, and we got back and it's been fine since. So I can't knock it. I mean, like I said earlier, I don't really know how many miles this has got. Not really. I mean, it says 182 on the clocks, but I don't know when the engine was changed. So anyway, classic cars as a whole, it's a bit like an addiction. It is an addiction, to be fair. It doesn't necessarily make any logical sense financially or in any other way, except to say that the thing with classic cars is they are fundamentally flawed. They're flawed by their design, because they're old. They necessarily weren't designed to... I don't know if Volkswagen expected this to still be going in 30 years, even with its modifications. And that's the great thing about classic cars. They are flawed. And as we all know, when something has flaws, it has human likeness. And that's what endears you to it. No one's ever said, I'm really attached to my washing machine. It does what it does. And that's my issue, I guess, with modern cars. They lack the character. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're massively reliable, they're comfortable, they come with air conditioning, they come with sat-nav, they come with everything you could possibly want. But when you walk away from it, do you turn around and look at it again? With this I do. I'm like, it's just cool. And people wave to you when you're driving, it's great. Do you get that in an Insignia? I don't know. Who knows? It's not for everybody. And I would in no way, advise you to do it. If it's not something that you want to do, God's sake, don't do it. It'll just be hassle. Unless you enjoy breaking down regularly. I mean, I haven't done too badly. I broke down 2 days ago, but that only took 10 minutes to fix. Yeah, so as a summary, classic cars. Brilliant, and yet completely useless. But you've got to love them. It's like having, as Jeremy Clarkson says, it's like having a big daft dog. Who doesn't want to have a big daft dog? Anyway, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll try and get back to you. Email me. I'm always available and love to talk about classic cars. If you've got any events coming up, let me know where they are. I mean, I say that, I'm in Kent, so if they're relatively close to Kent, I'll risk it. One of my cars will get there, who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching. As I said, please subscribe, and I'll be putting up another video soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.